So if you're new to music production and you want to start getting some clients, then this video is for you. So my name is Melvin Darrell. I'm a music producer working in R&B and pop. I used to have a corporate job and I left prematurely. It was a brutal transition. I made a million mistakes and I probably made a million average or whack records. But the dark days are behind me and now I am running a one-person music production business, working with independent artists all over the world, as well as some really dope musicians. And when I started this journey, I was honing my skills by serving a 1,000 member community through Rec Philly. And that was actually a really good spot for me to work on my production skills and then also my people skills, which is really important. So in this video, I want to share 3 things that I had to change to be able to start getting clients. Now, warning, I'm not going to talk about production skills because that's obvious. You need to know how to produce. Idea number 1, sell the outcome, not the process and not the gear. So this is a really important concept that I think music producers have to be very aware of, very honest about. We love gear, and gear makes it easier for us to do our jobs, and also it's just cool to collect. But artists don't care. They don't care about gear. So I remember back when Rec Philly opened up their flagship location in downtown Philadelphia, and I was super excited because they were getting some really high quality gear in their studios. They had an SSL desk in their A room, and then they had some cool microphones and preamps and all that good stuff. When I first started at that space, I used to just do a lot of research on the mics and the pre's, and I had a nice little chain for all types of scenarios. If I'm working with vocals, if I'm micing a guitar, if I'm doing horns, everything. And I remember talking to artists about this, thinking that it would impress them and it would help me get some more clients. None of them cared. Most of the artists didn't even know what a mic pre was. A lot of them were totally fine if I put an SM57 right in front of them. They wouldn't have questioned it. So I quickly realized that I was talking in a language that did not resonate with the artist. On the other hand, a lot of times when I did get clients, they usually came through a session that I was running for someone else, and that artist got the opportunity to watch me work. They got the opportunity to see the vibe that I was establishing in the studio, and ultimately they got to hear the product that I was giving to their friend. And then a lot of times artists will book me after that based on that experience. So you got to sell the outcome, not the gear, not the process. Artists do not care about that. They want to know, what will it be like working with you? What will you provide for me? How do you transform me as an artist? So the second thing that I had to come to understand is I am not the main character, the artist is. And by that, I mean, I had to take a very selfless approach in my production and in my offering as a music producer. So when I'm working with an artist, they hold the ultimate vision. My job as a producer is to help them navigate through their thoughts to get to that particular vision. And sometimes I'll even provide taste to help the artist come into what I believe that they could do. When I fell in love with music, I got excited about the producers like Swizz Beatz and Pharrell and Timberland, Kanye, Just Blaze, all these different hip hop producers who all had a very different sound. And to me, I fell in love with music from that perspective, from the instrumentation in the music, and I could tell who made what song. Like when Super Thug came on, I knew that was Pharrell behind the production with the Neptunes. I knew that the Neptunes produced that record. And then when I heard certain Rockefeller tracks, if they had like the anthemic horns and the samples in there, I knew that was Just Blaze. Or if I heard like the sped up soul samples, I knew that was Kanye West. So for me, I always looked at music production as a big style component that you bring to an artist. And sometimes that can be overbearing if you come in and you just want to give an artist a certain kind of style, and like if you want to transform an artist and any of that kind of stuff, that could be overwhelming for an artist, and they're not necessarily coming to you for that. Sometimes they just have an idea that they want to get across, that they they just can't execute on. But you as the producer, you understand how to put together an arrangement and how to record and how to get a song from the pre-production process all the way to the mixing and mastering stage. Sometimes that's all the artist is coming to you for. And I'm not trying to downplay that. That's just what it is. They're not coming to you for an overhaul on their style. So keep that in mind. The third thing that was really big in my development as a music producer was the realization that an artist's personal playlist is the key to their musical taste in general. So when I'm working with an artist, I like to do a deep dive into their personal playlist. I'll usually ask them to share one of them with me on Spotify. And then from there, I'll just listen to it and I'll take notes. And I'll try to think about what I'm hearing in regards to instrumentation, tempo, the way the singer is performing, any unique or cool sounds. And then from there, I'll have a list of notes and I'll just start to look for patterns. And then once I start to spot the patterns, that is when I get a good glimpse into what an artist personally enjoys. Sometimes an artist has a hard time communicating with you what they're looking for. Sometimes they don't even really know, or they hear it, but they don't know how to say it back to you. And it might come out in the sense of colors or energy, and that might not often be enough, because an artist might really love guitar fingerstyle playing, and you can totally miss that in the conversation if the artist is talking about I want this to sound smooth and floaty and all that kind of stuff. That doesn't get me to fingerstyle guitar. So I learned to start to not bypass the artist, but kind of hear what they're saying and also look into their playlist to get a really good idea of what they're looking for. And when I started doing that, there were moments where I was surprising an artist with the stuff that I was throwing into their records. And really what it was I did my homework and I had a good understanding of the stuff that they actually like. So I think that it's really important to dig into an artist's personal playlist to understand their psyche, to understand their taste and what really touches their soul. So yeah, I hope that this was helpful. Those three things really were game changers for me. And once you kind of package that together and present that to an artist in a way that is communicating the value that you bring to them, you'll find that it's a lot easier to start to close some deals. So if that was helpful, I have a newsletter where I dive into more stuff like this. So check it out. Link will be in the bio. Until next time, peace.